attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, and you gonna kick yourself in the balls?
System reactivated.
But I was just sitting here thinking, and it dawned on me, 99% of people that say stuff like that are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Restored. Serious trauma detected.
Narcissus, Medusa, Ephasos, Ashalalala, sisters, Minerva, and Kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Chaos, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Ephasos, Ashalalala, sisters, Minerva, and Kabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, 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 love it, 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 I love it when you couscous, love it, 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 I love it when you couscous, love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love, I love it when you love it, love, love it, love, I love it when you couscous, love it, love, I love it, love, I love it, love, 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 love it, love it, love, love it, love, I love it when you couscous.
Hello there.
Detecting contaminated gear. Dark zone drop expired.
Hello, motherfucker.
Plum here, and welcome agents to another Division 2 video. That's right, it's build time. Over the last week or so, I've been testing out some new builds, and this one's slotted in quite nicely into my loadouts. It's far from the meta of armor regen and shields, and it's a lot of fun to use. It actually shreds right through these meta builds at the moment. So if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe to the channel for more Division 2 content, and if you have any feedback or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. Now remember, don't just copy and paste these builds, use them as a template or a foundation to work off. Get creative, agents. Now there's definitely some room to improve on this build, but RNG hasn't been that kind to me this week. So let's check out the build. I don't really have a name for it, so we'll refer to this as the LMG META SHREDDED build. I'm running the main stats as 4 reds and 2 blues. This build currently sitting at 1.1mm armor. Now I would like to tweak this and work it a little bit better and hopefully push it up to 1.3, maybe 1.5mm, but hey, we work with what we've got, right? The build is made to make the most of my weapon talents. For my guns, I'm running an RPK and an L86. These LMGs are both hard hitting and fast reloading, and they absolutely beam. The rolls are far from max, but you want to be getting max damage to targets out of cover and max damage to armor. These stats are multiplicative damage and are better than just straight weapon damage. So to get more bang for your buck, you want these. The RPK hits for 113k, that's per bullet. And the talent we're going to be using is In Sync. I know what you're thinking, but Plum, that's a skill build talent. Far from it, agents. The In Sync talent reads: hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Okay. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 15% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Your damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. That's an additional 30% weapon damage when both are procced. That's huge. The secondary gun's the L86 and that's hitting for 122k. And we want to be doing the same thing, damage to targets out of cover and damage to armor, and we also have In Sync. Now being as though this is your secondary, you can run a different gun if you like, and a different talent. But I really do enjoy that quick switch of the weapon and keeping that proc going. And your pistol, as always, it doesn't really matter, but I find it really handy to have preservation rolled on it, just in case. Now to the gear itself, I've got the Coyote mask, which is really close to max roll, and it's got a crit damage mod. Using this mask helps both me and my team with crits at different ranges. This build does definitely lend itself to being best played at mid-range. So if we're at that 15 to 25 meter range, I'm getting 10% crit chance and crit damage. Playing at that range makes me capped at the crit chance, and if I get rushed, that bonus 25% crit damage jacks that damage right up. Especially when In Sync is active as well. The chest and backpack are both Badger tough for that 5% total armor. So if you wanted to run your secondary as a shoddy, that'd work great. I've opted for the Badger chest here because of Perfectly Unbreakable, and it's also got that offensive mod slot for more crit damage. The holster is a Seska for 10% crit chance, and it's nearly maxed. Now if I had the crit chance roll on my chest piece, I could definitely replace this with a Walker holster that I've got for additional weapon damage. Or if you want to be a little bit more tankier, maybe slot in a Gila piece here to get a bit more armor. But then again, that would drop your damage a little bit. The Kneepads are my god rolled Gruppo. 15% crit damage from the one piece brain bonus? They're pretty sweet, right? The gloves are the Contractor's gloves and they're so close to being god rolled. The max damage to armor adds on to what's on your weapons and then multiplies your weapon damage. And as they're Petrov and I'm using LMGs, that one piece brain bonus of 10% LMG damage is great. The backpack is Badger and has some great rolls, and I love using the talent Wicked. I love using the Jammer Pulse. This disrupts players and procs Wicked. 18% weapon damage for 20 seconds, that's pretty awesome. Also, this then triggers the first part of In Sync. You then shoot a player to proc the second part. 48% additional weapon damage, and when that happens, oh my god, it feels so good. So the first skill I use is the Striker Drone, and this helps keep part 1 of In Sync active basically all the time. Now it doesn't do much damage, but it's so annoying to be peppered with tic tacs constantly from this drone. And as most of my builds go, the Jammer Pulse. It procs Wicked, procs In Sync, disrupts players, destroys deployed skills, including all those annoying shield builds. Now to the all-important stat sheet. With the RPK, 113k weapon damage, and that's just under 40k in PvP. Let's call it 54% crit chance and 170% crit damage. Now that's no talents or buffs active. Playing at that mid-range we're talking about with the mask, the crit's capped, and that's 180% crit hit damage. Or if you get rushed or you want to push aggressively, that bumps up to 195% crit hit damage. That is fucking awesome. And that 13% multiplicative damage to armor is just amazing as well. There's a slight difference in damage with the L86. And the build certainly could be improved with some better rolls and gear. But I've got to admit, I really do enjoy running this build. So that's the build, agents. What did you all think? Hit me up in the comments below. I've had a lot of fun using this, and I'll continue to tweak it and swap some pieces around and see what I end up with. So did you like it? Then smash that like button, and if you didn't like it, press the dislike. But remember, support me and the channel, hit that sub button and become a creepy subscriber. I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.